Persons with Disabilities, FEDOMA. Guys, welcome back to my channel, Lady Mats MW, once again. And thank you for stopping to be with us on our live stream. Today, I'm here at Federation of Disability of Persons with Disabilities. Okay. Okay.
Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi.
Yes, so don't forget my channel. It's more about sensitization issues in Malawi, but specifically in three categories: disability issues in Malawi, and travel tourism in Malawi, and don't forget services and promotion. Malawi services and products promoting. Thank you. We have Peculiar Beauty from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and also give a comment on the topic of today. It's about right to employment by persons with disabilities. Yeah, I have Yoga from Kenya. Welcome. So today I'm with the executive director of
Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi.
And yes, FEDOMA. And this is an umbrella for all organizations of persons with disabilities in Malawi. And we are discussing on right to employment by persons with disabilities in Malawi and also around Africa and across the world. But specifically today, we are going to talk about employment and persons with disabilities in Malawi. So don't forget, be with us right there. Don't go anywhere. Watch until our end of our live stream. Yes, Mr. Munde, introduce yourself to my viewers.
I am Simon Munde, Acting Executive Director at Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi, FEDOMA. Sure.
Yeah, just tell us about FEDOMA before we go to our topic of today.
As you've rightly said, FEDOMA is an umbrella body of organizations of persons with disabilities, and it's there to basically coordinate.
Yes, we are back. I was sharing the live stream, guys. We are back. We are back. Yes, Mr. Munde, you were telling us about. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Munde, we are back. Yes, Mr. Munde.
Yes.
Show us more, just highlight more about FEDOMA.
Yeah, as you rightly put it, Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi is an umbrella body of organizations of persons with disabilities. Yeah. And it's there to basically coordinate, unify, and strengthen the work and efforts of its affiliate organizations for the well-being of persons with disabilities. Yeah. And FEDOMA's vision is basically an inclusive, barrier-free society in which persons with disabilities maximize their potential. What does that mean? It means that there are lots of potentials among us persons with disabilities, and there is need to actually tap from these potentials and ensure that these potentials are maximized. And we hope that the moment they maximize, even the society in which persons with disabilities are living will actually benefit from the potentials that are there. And under FEDOMA, I say it's an umbrella body. We have 12 affiliate organizations. We have Association of Persons with Albinism in Malawi. We have Association of Persons with Physical Disabilities in Malawi. We have Disability Rights Organization Movement. We have Disabled Women in Development. We have Disabled Widows and Orphans Organization of Malawi. We have Malawi National Association of the Deaf. We have Malawi Union of the Blind. We have Mental Health Users Association. We have National Epilepsy Association. We have Parents of Disabled Children Association of Malawi. We have Spinal Injuries Association of Malawi. We also have Visual Hearing Impairment Membership Association, VHEMA. Sometimes it is known as Deaf Blind Malawi.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so it means FEDOMA looks after all these organizations that are fighting for the rights of persons with different disabilities.
Yeah, in a way, what we're saying is that FEDOMA, it is all these organizations. They are the ones that are making up FEDOMA, and we have a mandate to really support, even in terms of capacity building of these affiliate organizations.
Okay, I just want to know more about how this right to employment, about right to employment on the sector of disability.
Yeah, it is true that every person with a disability has got a right. And some of these rights, just like any other human being has rights, as these rights are divided into civil and political rights, economic, social, and cultural rights. And amongst the socio-economic and cultural rights, one of the right that is there is the right to employment. And as I've said, that persons with disabilities also enjoy these rights. They also are supposed to benefit from these particular rights. And I would say that in this country, we as Malawi are a party to the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And Article 27 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Okay, before we come to the article, before we come to the legal frameworks. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and give a comment and also share the live stream. And if you're not one of my subscribers, please don't hesitate. Subscribe, like. That's the love that we are supposed to be doing here on YouTube. Yes, if you're not one of the members of my house, please kindly, I say kindly, yeah, I'm appealing, I'm asking for a subscription. Yes, subscribe, share the link also to others so that they can learn something for today. So today we are interacting and discussing on the issue of right to employment by persons with disabilities in Malawi. So kindly share, as I also share to other social platforms. So don't forget, we are still here live interacting with you guys. Don't forget to like. And Mr. Moody, you were just telling us about the legal frameworks, the convention.
Yeah, it's quite a progressive kind of a human rights instrument that is promoting right to employment by persons with disabilities. Basically, persons with disabilities have faced challenges in terms of enjoying their right to employment. Some of the challenges they've experienced is just that when the recruitment process starts, is the employer really opening up to the to persons with disabilities, that persons with disabilities can be hired, can be taken on board within that particular employee or workplace. So it starts from there. What happens when employers are advertising their positions? You know, because persons with disabilities have been neglected for quite a long time. They've been ignored for quite a long time. They face stigma and discrimination. So that mostly affects persons with disabilities' self-confidence and self-esteem, such that when the vacancy has been advertised in that generic manner, you not actually attract potential employees with disabilities. So it's important to actually add a non-discriminatory clause that actually expressly provide that persons with disabilities are encouraged to apply, just as it is done within the gender sector, that women and girls with disabilities are encouraged to apply. So we have to do the same in terms of persons with disabilities, so that persons with disabilities should really feel that we have a potential employer who is ready to welcome our persons with disabilities as their employees. That's the first place where things must be happening. Much as most of these kind of things cannot just happen without maybe having a workplace policy that is favoring persons with disabilities. So workplaces, employers need to have a policy that actually promotes employment of persons with disabilities.
Sure. Yeah, that reminds me on in terms of a right, the meaning of right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because rights belongs to every individual,
Yeah,
every
sure,
human.
Sure.
So a right to employment is
Yeah.
a right for every citizen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it starts already apart from having a right as a person with a disability.
Yeah.
But the individual has a right to
employment. Sure.
Yes, so I think we have to start from the start that every individual has a right to employment or a right to health. But
Yeah.
today, guys, we are interacting with Mr. Munde, the Executive Director of Federation of Organizations of Disability in Malawi.
Yeah.
So he's also a person with a disability. Let's just know about his disability before we go ahead with our topic today.
Yeah, mother. Really, I have a disability. My disability is a visual disability. I would say my primary, secondary school, even tertiary education, more especially at undergrad level, I've been using Braille, and except for postgraduate studies in which I mostly used my computer, which has a speech software. Sure.
Okay. So my viewers, I think I have some videos that I talked about Braille. What is Braille? So just to highlight again, Braille is a hard paper that is used by blind people, those who have visual impairment. They use it when they are writing, because when they are writing they use stylus. Yeah. I think I also have a video about stylus. So that's what I just wanted to highlight on that.
We also use sometimes a Perkins Braille.
Sometimes they also use a Perkins. So don't forget to like and also give a comment. I want to know who is here with us, and if you have any comment on the same scenario of the things that we are talking here, please give us your comments so that we can know. You can also spice us. You spice our live stream, huh? So don't forget to give a like and also give a comment. When you're giving a comment, say where you're watching from. I know some of viewers here, I know where you're watching me from or where you're watching us from. Thank you, thank you, Yoga. Thank you, Peculiar. Thank you. Yeah, I think I give a thumbs up to Kenya. I give a thumbs up to Nigeria, and I'm waiting for Malawi, guys. I don't know where are they. Okay, guys, if you'll be watching, I know some people will be watching maybe after, but don't forget to like and also to give a comment. So I'm here. I have not to talk much. Mr. Munde is the one to have the floor today. He's the one to tell us more. I don't know anything. I really don't know, guys, anything. I'm also learning here. So sure. Mr. Munde is the one to take the floor, yes.
Yeah, in addition to what I've said, we also need to the right to employment by persons with disabilities. Imagine a person with a disability who has a hearing impairment has come to attend an interview. You know, sometimes other persons with disability have hidden their disability in their application later, just because they know that most employers have a negative attitude towards persons with disabilities. So they will hide their disability. They will not disclose it. But basically, as a person with a disabilities, and to most persons with disabilities, we are not ashamed of our disability. We would want people to know our disabilities. But because of the barriers that are there, out there, that when somebody says, I'm applying for this particular position, I'm a male Malawian or I'm a female Nigerian, aged so and I have a hearing impairment. during the shortlisting process, sometimes people decide not to invite those people to interviews. So imagine that person has hidden their disability, and they've been invited for interviews, and the panel is there, 3 or 5 people interviewing this particular candidate. What will go in your mind? And so that's where now definitely I feel the facial expressions, even the verbal expressions that will come out, will actually show that you don't need this particular candidate.
And that one, it reminds me, I also had a video, it was live stream, with a certain lady who has physical disability and also loss in speech. And she told me to say she did her secondary school, and then she did her college, where she studied administration, secretariat and administration issues. She has been applying, and then next day she said maybe I should change my CV, I should not write that I have disability, and then she was picked for interviews. She went for interviews. For her, she saw that every question, everything, the oral interview, the written interview, she said, I wrote everything I wrote, I know they're going to take me. But suddenly, she found that she was not picked up. And when she tries to apply, she's not taken. So when I asked, I said, okay, why do you think you're not employed? She said, maybe I have a disability. So it was like, she was saying, but I just stopped writing, and I told her, go ahead. Don't give up. You need to still write, and the place where you are located, you'll be located and you'll be employed. But she was like so sad, and she was in a situation of giving out. I just need to comment, to just read some comments here. I have welcome Ati Vlogs from Philippines, if I'm not making mistake. And so guys, here we are interacting today with Mr. Munde. And Mr. Munde, he's the executive director of organizations of persons with disability. It's an umbrella body. We call it FEDOMA. So we are interacting on the topic of right to employment for persons with disabilities in Malawi. So I'm not talking much. I'll be just greeting you guys. Stay right there. Don't forget to like and to give a comment. I give back the floor.
Sure. So, you know, the goodness is that we're backed up by relevant legislation. I talked of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. We have the Disability Act in Malawi. We have the Employment Act in Malawi. Section 5 of the Employment Act is a non-discrimination clause of the Act itself, and it actually prevents whatever kind of discrimination on whatever basis, including disability. And that particular provision is quite strong, and persons with disabilities can rely on it. So imagine that during the interview, you've actually not picked this particular candidate, and sometimes it's based on the facial or verbal expressions that one will actually tell is because of my disability. And some other times you would find that in terms of qualifications, maybe they are best qualified in terms of academic qualifications, much as maybe work experience may be challenged in one way or another. It may still be found that in terms of work experience, they are much better than anyone else. And at the end of the day, this particular person can still try to enforce their rights through different other means. So because we are in an environment of a policy and legal framework that still more favors persons with disabilities, these particular potential employees would actually take the issue somewhere else. So it is important to make sure that whatever we're doing is in line with the policy and legal provisions that are there. And in addition to that, you're talking of one who has been employed. I'll talk about the current status in terms of employment of persons with disabilities later. But one has been employed. And what is happening when this particular person has been employed? You know, there is this kind of a thinking that because you've been employed at FEDOMA, you've been employed at Minister of Justice as a person with a disability, we employed you just as a way of pitying you.
That reminds me, because you know, in our country here in Malawi, it's like there's this syndrome. I don't know if it's a syndrome or it's just a certain attitude that maybe the society has.
Yeah.
If I see someone with visual impairment working, I'll say he or she's a teacher. I will never see a visually impaired in Malawi to be a manager of a certain bank, to be a maybe under agriculture sector, or to be maybe in the ministry holding a big position. But I will see a blind person as a teacher.
That's what is.
I don't know, my viewers, what is happening in your country. Shares, give us a comment. And in terms of those with physical disabilities, I always see them in administration, front desk. I don't know why, but I don't know why. I don't know. We need to take this tradition out. We have a lot of persons with disabilities that are well qualified in different professions. We need to change. We need to get our minds as Malawians. Now I'll be talking as Malawi. We need to take that out. Let me stop there. I think Mr. Mude will talk much.
That kind of a thing that is because somebody has been employed, and you are the HR specialist within the organization. You are the CEO of the organization. What you feel is that you hired them because you pitied them. That kind of a charity thinking, I do not think right kind of a thinking. That person has been employed because he's a person, he has a right on the basis of them being human beings that are qualified. So it is a right to be employed. The fact that they are part and parcel of your workforce, respect that. And respect their right as persons with disabilities. And as they are working, there are other requirements that will need to be provided for. As for me, I'm employed at FEDOMA. And because I'm employed at FEDOMA, whenever I'm going to the field, I'm allowed to go with a personal assistant who is not employed at FEDOMA, who can be my friend, who can be my wife, or any other family member of mine. That kind of a person that I think is a person who can best help me. And my employers, FEDOMA, have got no right or obligation to choose for me a personal assistant. And that particular personal assistant will be fully provided for by my employers. In terms of daily subsistence allowance, in terms of transport and everything. Within FEDOMA, we have one of our project managers, Malonje Piri, who
But Mr. Munde, is this not something that people always say to employ a person with disability is expensive?
I'm telling you, a person with a disability will add value to your organization. That particular person is not just there as a liability or a burden. I talked about the vision that we have as FEDOMA, an inclusive, barrier-free society. Barrier-free. In a situation where there are no barriers, performance of persons with disabilities is wow.
Yeah, so we have a comment from Yoga, and he's in Kenya. Yoga with Goga. I guess you also visit his channel. He's one of my supporters. Yes, he's always on my live stream. He's saying he's agreeing of what you're saying, and disability is not inability. Yeah. Now you go ahead.
Thank you very much, Shoga. It's true. Most of the persons with disabilities have a lot of potential. They will add value to the organization, to the company. They're not just coming as a liability or a burden to the organization. They are coming to contribute. And if in fact, the International Labour Organization has even done some of the research that shows that in situations that persons with disabilities and those without disabilities are working together, persons with disabilities are the ones that are working even harder than those without, those with disabilities are working harder than those without disabilities.
Yeah.
Because most of the persons with disabilities do not have so many excuses. They will not tell you that I'm going to lunch and they'll go there and they will stay there 2 hours. Sometimes you find them, they will remain within their workstations.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will ask somebody just to go and buy lunch for them.
Of course.
Most of the times, they will not have so many excuses like, okay, I'm not going to be around because I've gone home to take care of my sick father, sick mother.
So it means you can take care of the sick father.
We do.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
we value our work so much.
And that's true. I work with a person with a disability, but the way he gives time to the task that he wants to do, I'm telling you guys, hey, I'm always pushed to work harder just because when I see him how he works. So persons with disability, really, I have to just second on that. They give if you employ them, they give their heart to the job that you have given to them, because they always want to prove that I am able, I can do it. So with that spirit of saying I need to improve to them that I can do it, they give it into the 100%. Sometimes I always tell you, hey, you.
Sometimes it's not even a matter of trying to prove something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you have that satisfaction. When you do the best, you have that satisfaction.
Yeah.
And for most of the persons with disabilities, I've seen it. I have so many friends that have that kind of a passion to say, I want to deliver on my job. I want to deliver on my job. So when you employ a person with a disability, I always say you will not regret. You will not regret. You get the best from that particular individual.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So don't forget my channel. It's about sensitization issues on disability issues in Malawi, travel tourism in Malawi, products and services of Malawi. So today I'm interacting live with Mr. Munde from Federation of Organizations of Persons with Disabilities. It's an umbrella body of all organizations of persons with disabilities. Yeah, if you talk about physical disability, they have their own organization. You talk about blind, they have their own organization. But their mother body, it's FEDOMA. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, let me continue with this. Really, we just have to make sure. I was talking of the situation that we have a person with hearing impairment as one of our project managers, and because he has hearing impairment, we also have one of our finance officers is a person with a hearing impairment, and because of that, what has been done, we talked to our donor, our development partner, who is supporting that particular project, who is Sightsavers International, and they had to provide for allocation of a salary for a sign language interpreter. So we have, as FEDOMA, we have a full-time sign language interpreter who is fully paid, 100% on a salary.
But does it mean that persons with disabilities have to be employed in an institution which is doing or advocating, or an institution which is doing on issues of disability only?
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that we really have to endeavor is to make sure that we set a good example.
Yeah.
We set a good example by recruiting persons with disabilities as well.
Yeah.
We also have those without disabilities. Our finance manager is a person without disability. We have several project managers who have no disability, and our drivers have no disability. 3 drivers.
Yeah, today I was interacting, with and it is going to be my coming premiere video to the channel. In the morning I was with Esther, and she is the executive director of Women with Disabilities Vision. I say no, I just forget the organization.
Like Voices of
Women, yes,
with Disabilities.
Voices of Women with Disabilities in Malawi. They say they are based in Cheo District, and Cheo District, my viewers, is in the central part of Malawi. And she was telling me, I'm visually impaired, but I can do anything apart from a wash guard and secondly, driving. I can drive, but I have a car. I have a driver. I can drive, and I cannot be a watch guard. But any job, I can do it. I said, wow. And then I gave up. I
can even be a soldier.
A soldier?
Yeah.
Serious? Okay, yes, you can be a soldier. You can be at the administration work.
Not even just administration.
Oh, share.
Think of intelligence.
Josie Kona, thank you for joining. Hello, we are fine here. I'm with Mr. Mude. Mr. Mude, just say hello to my viewers.
Hello, viewers. You're welcome to Lady Matt MW. It's wonderful to have your company. And basically, what we're talking about is disability, right to employment by persons with disabilities. And we feel it's important to really promote this agenda on right to employment by persons with disabilities. And if you're an employer, I hope you will not regret having reached a point of hiring a person with a disability.
Thank you for the thumbs up, Josie Kona. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we are discussing this issue about right to employment. It's a long issue, and you know what Lady Matt does? I don't talk. This is a selfless channel, don't forget. So my guest is the one to talk more. I think I'll be having a lot of such live streams with Mr. Munde every Tuesday. That's when I will be having time to come and interact with Mr. Munde. Yeah, Mr. Munde, you can now share us. What else are you going to share us here?
Yeah, okay. What we're saying is that providing all necessary accommodations to make sure that persons with disabilities enjoy their work and they deliver the best of their abilities. We have the best of our abilities. That's what employers need, and I hope most of the employers will not actually regret. So the right of persons with disabilities include even retention of those employees with disabilities, and even when time has come that they are to have the services terminated or dismissal, the necessary processes have to be followed. If the processes haven't been followed, definitely you may be accused of dismissing a person with a disability on the basis of their disability. Like here in Malawi, I always say that our constitution is very good, is very strong, in terms of progressive in terms of disability. We're talking of Article Section 13, subsection G, paragraph G, which is talking about the fundamental principles of national policy. The fundamental principles of national policy in Malawi also include issues of disability. And we also have Section 20. Section 20 is talking of non-discrimination, that prohibits discrimination on whatever basis, including on the basis of disability. And as persons with disabilities, we know that particular right, and we make sure we safeguard it. And Section 30, that is right to development, that every person in Malawi has a right to development, and special measures will be taken to ensure that right to development for persons with disabilities, women and children are always respected. So with these kind of provisions, we know that persons with disabilities who enjoy them, and employers will also help in promoting such kind of rights amongst persons with disabilities. And maybe I should go into the status, the current status, in terms of employment of persons with disabilities in Malawi. I may not have all the statistics, but one thing that I know, the government is the biggest employer in terms of employment of persons with disabilities.
Teachers.
Mostly in teaching. And what I like is that even as much as we talked about persons with vision impairment being mostly in teaching profession, even most of the persons with physical disabilities, but the Ministry of Health has also been coming up.
Wow.
That we have 2 health surveillance assistants who have vision impairment.
Thank you, my country. I didn't know that. That you have some vision impaired as
as health surveillance assistants. And we also have others who are in the Ministry of Health, like I know comes Central Hospital has several guys. I think it should be in the pharmacies as well as in human resource.
Is it the same in your country, guys? Give a comment.
And at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, we have several guys at Mercy James Department, which is to do with pediatrics. We have a person with a physical disability. The clinical social worker in the physiotherapy department at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital is a person with a visual impairment, and different departments at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital. And one thing that I like is that senior management at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, more especially one of the senior doctors there, Dr. Patrick Kamalo, has been so instrumental in promoting employment of persons with disabilities, which to me is a move in the right direction. Sure.
You can come. He's gone. Okay. All right. Your comments. So, all right. Yeah, guys. So we are still here. Don't forget to give a comment. Don't forget to share the link. I know a lot of people are not here, but share the link. They have to know that Lady Mart was live, and I'll be consistent this time. I'll be interacting with Mr. Mundo, I think, every Wednesday or Thursdays. If I miss Tuesday, not Wednesday, if I miss every Tuesday and Thursday, if I miss Tuesday, you'll see us on Thursday.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll make sure to be consistent on these issues of right of persons with disabilities. So today we are talking of rights to employment, persons with disabilities in Malawi. I just want to talk about this. I just want to ask.
Maybe I should finish on the status first.
Oh yes, finish on the status.
We've been quite good in terms of the government, but I think the conditions are a problem. Most of the times, maybe the employers being the government, I think it hasn't been as good in terms of providing necessary conditions or accommodations that will actually facilitate the effective and efficient delivery of the duties of these persons with disabilities. That's a problem, and we hope that we'll be interacting with the Civil Service Commission, if possible even with the Secretary to the President and Cabinet, to make sure that even the government must be able to have a disability policy at workplace that promote better conditions for persons with disabilities. At the same time, we're talking of the private sector.
Yes.
The private sector in Malawi hasn't been as good in terms of employing persons with disabilities, and maybe we should engage more the chambers of commerce and chambers of the Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry in Malawi, so that maybe they open up banks in the country, microfinance institutions, be it agricultural produce companies. They need to open up quite a lot to persons with disabilities. At the same time, we can talk of the parastatos, the government parastatos in Malawi. As of now, I should talk of Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, that even had the late Swine Chinkango as one of the senior managers at MPC, which was a move in the right direction. But this time around, they need to open a little more, so that persons with disabilities can also be recruited. And we're hoping that even institutions like Malawi Communication Regulatory Authority, Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority, all those parastatals would open up. Because if the government or the public sector opens up a little more, I hope that the private sector will emulate the example of the public sector. And one other thing that I think we need to do is to have much as the Disability Act, the Employment Act talks of employment of persons with disabilities, but we need to have some law reform that actually promotes the employment of persons with disabilities. It has happened in South Africa, and it's working out there because they have a quota, or the employment quota for persons with disabilities. And I think if that happens in Malawi, it will help quite a lot. Sure.
Yeah, I heard the president also signed the African Disability Protocol,
Yeah,
which
sure.
we are trying to ratify it. It also has some articles concerning employment. What can you say about this ratification of this protocol?
Yeah, it's an important move that Malawi need to take, more especially to ensure that persons with disabilities enjoy their rights to the fullest. Much as we signed and ratified the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, we need to sign and ratify the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the Disability Rights Protocol, because this particular protocol actually contextualizes disability rights, not being looked at the global level, but now at the African level. Yeah, you know, if you go to the UK, if you go to the US, if you go to Japan, albinism is not recognized as a disability. But in our context, Africa, albinism is a disability. And the protocol provides for necessary measures that are to do with persons with albinism as a disability. So if we cannot just rely on the CRPD, we have to rely on our own protocol as well. Hence the need for our government, our Minister of Foreign Affairs and the President to ratify this particular protocol.
How is it important? Because we have the Constitution of Malawi that has also some different articles, and it's also inclusive constitution. And then we have the Disability Act, and because people can be saying they want also this document to be ratified. Yes, yet we already have the Disability Act, we already ratified the UNCRPD, and there are some small policies that are talking about inclusion in terms of any sector, and we are talking about employment. So can you really, even myself, I'm saying, why did these people applying all these other documents? Yet we have the main document which is talking about it's already inclusive. Why?
Basically, issues of accountability. Sometimes accountability has to go beyond the borders. It's possible the government can be committed through the Constitution, committed through the Disability Act, committed through various other instruments that are at the domestic level. But one thing for sure, okay, you can take the government to court or any other party to court in case my right has been violated. But you know that we have different political dynamics or even legal dynamics that sometimes my own jurisdiction may not be able to protect me, and I need to rely on somebody else. The issue is if I am not satisfied within the within Malawi's jurisdiction, where do I go afterwards? You'll find that I'll not have anywhere else to go if we do not have the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. We do not have the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, that is the Disability Rights Protocol. But this time around, these particular instruments are actually bringing in international standards, international human rights standards. Because you know it's possible today, Parliament of Malawi can pass a bill that actually says persons with disabilities have no rights in Malawi. What are you going to say?
Okay.
So these particular instruments at regional level, at international level, they are actually bringing in international human rights or disability rights standards that even as Malawi we need to emulate. That even our Disability Act can even domesticate this particular African Disability Protocol, can domesticate the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. In so doing, it means that even if Parliament would decide differently next time around, I should be able to go to the African Court of Human and People's Rights and say, my right is violating rights of persons with disabilities. It means the government of Malawi, as a state party, is going to be answerable at that level. It means that even in a situation like that, that my rights are being violated here, I should be able to run away from Malawi and go to Uganda and say I need asylum here. Yeah, because my country is violating my rights.
Okay.
Sure.
So they bring like the instruments, they like protect.
Yeah.
They protect in terms of other people, or they in terms to be your right to be violated.
Yeah, sure.
So they protect. Okay, it's very sure. So it's very important. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say that before we close, what are the challenges? Because as Malawi, we have good legal frameworks, good documents, really. But I think implementation, that's where the challenge is. What can be one of the things that is attracting these challenges to not implement properly the documents?
I think the problem is lack of ownership. I think
by who? By the owners,
by not by us as right holders, by the duty bearer. Most of the times, I think even if you go today and ask maybe the district labor officer in Atlanta, what does the Disability Act talk about right to employment by persons with disabilities? You would find that they have a problem. They will not even explain. Why? Because they haven't owned that particular act. Much as they've owned the Employment Act, they haven't only the Disability Act. So one thing that has to be appreciated is that these instruments, the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, does not belong to the UN. It belongs to us as a state party, Malawi. Let's make sure that that provision, be it Article 27 of the UN Convention, has to be embraced by the Minister of Labor in Malawi, right from the national level to the local level. And at the same time, because the Minister of Labor owns it, it means they will also play a role in popularizing that particular instrument, because it is theirs. Yeah. Even the Disability Act, they have to embrace it. They have to own the sections that talk of right to employment by persons with disabilities. Sure.
All right, so what can you tell my viewers in terms of this topic?
Basically, viewers, you've listened to this particular interview.
I know this is episode 1. It has to be episode 1 because
episode 1.
I think there's a lot.
Yeah, sure. You've listened to it. I hope you become ambassadors of this particular topic or this particular subject in your respective countries. If you do that, I hope you do a lot of service to persons with disabilities.
Exactly.
Sure.
And disability is not inability. I think I have a lot of videos in my channel and you can visit, and as part of my content. So today I was with Mr.
Simon Munde,
from
Acting Executive Director, Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi, FEDOMA.
Yes, their offices are located in Blantyre, and Blantyre is in the southern part of Malawi, and it's located at, this is Limbi.
Maseremba.
Maseremba, yes, on the way to Limbi or on the way to Blantyre.
Sure.
Town, yes. So guys, thank you very much, and don't forget to meet again Mr. Munde.
Next week.
Next week,
sure.
Yes, next week. So what are we going to say? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the link. I need your spice, and the spices that you can give to my channel is subscribing, like, and also share to others so that they can visit my channel. Mr. Munde, say bye.
Bye.